Have you ever told the client everything, only to feel less respected as a result, or even not trusted anymore? I've seen this happen a lot in especially remote consulting. This can happen even with intelligent, well-intentioned leaders. They think that transparency leads to trust. It doesn't, at least not by default. Visibility is straightforward in remote first consulting. There are shared dashboards, there are open Slack channels, there are documents that are accessible in real time as you modify them. It feels mature, it gives a very modern vibe, 24/7 accessibility, etc. However, transparency without established boundaries can just lead to pure chaos. And it can also undermine your authority. So today I'd like to talk about this and look into this a bit further. Consultants often believe that showing customers everything is what builds trust. This leads to internal disagreements, prepared draft analysis, half-informed ideas, raw risk talks being presented to clients. There's an honest vibe feeling about it, but there's a major issue. When everything is visible, nothing seems organized. Clients perceive more than just the effort that you put into the work. They see uncertainty. Without context, this uncertainty then breeds distrust. When working remotely, this issue can be exaggerated. Since you're not in the room, you cannot manage the tone, for example. You cannot provide a rapid clarification when there's something that is not clear. So visibility takes the place of presence. However, visibility must be combined with decision-making authority. Who decides on pricing changes or pricing strategy? Who approves scope shifts? Who is responsible for the final results and for the final recommendation? If these boundaries are not clearly defined, well, then transparency loses its value. I've seen remote projects fail when clients start commenting on internal threats, for example. This is not malicious. They only did it because they could, because they were given access to the internal system. But this access without structure invites interference. It is okay to invite a client to your dashboard if you limit their visibility. Radical transparency is often insecurity in disguise. Leaders who overshare may do so to demonstrate their value, to demonstrate the depth of their thinking, to demonstrate the sophistication of their work. But strong leadership does not require that. On the contrary, strong leadership states, this is a decision, here's the reasoning for it, here are the trade-offs. It does not list all the variants and all the variables that were included and debated over the last 3 days, 3 weeks, whatever. Clarity is the foundation of authority. It's not exposure. I worked with a remote consulting team that granted clients, as I mentioned before, complete access to their internal workspace. You should never do this. I mean, each message, each draft, each conversation, the little discussions you have internally, everything exposed. Initially, most clients loved it. But then something's changed. As I said, they started responding to internal messages, looked at partial analysis and commented on that. Without clear boundaries, transparency can result in anarchy. On the other hand, transparency in decision making fosters confidence. You can be open. You are capable of being clear. You can explain your reasoning, but you need to define first what is a draft and what is final, who makes the decision and who is consulted. Without this clarity, visibility becomes ineffective. So here are a few actionable takeaways for you. Before expanding visibility in a remote engagement, ask, are decision rights documented? Is there a clear boundary between internal debate and external communication? Clients should not see internal debates. Are clients reacting to drafts or structures conclusions? They should see the conclusion of the draft. Does visibility reinforce or dilute your authority? If you cannot answer those questions clearly, then improve your internal structure first. Then you can increase openness, not the other way around. If you found this video useful, then please give it a like. If you are building a remote first consulting career based on structure and clarity, then feel free to subscribe. If you know someone who is, for example, a consultant, or you believe can work with this video, or maybe someone who is trying to use transparency alone to build trust, share this video with them. Alternatively, I also write reflections and posts on LinkedIn twice a week. You can find me there. Otherwise, fortnightly weeks here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.